are these people?
This is from SheerPost, right? And it's technically by Common Dreams, which they kind of dual post a lot. So this is about the Uber files. 124,000 plus leaked files expose global dirty dealings of ride-hailing giants. So internal documents reveal how company won access to world leaders, cozied up to oligarchs, and dodged taxes amid a chaotic global expansion. So business as usual.
Yeah, it's like that sounds like standard capitalism, really.
Yeah, it sounds about right. So over 124,000 internal corporate files and documents, including private communications between top executives, are the basis of new reporting published Sunday dubbed the Uber Files, a detailed look at the ride-hailing juggernaut that aggressively lobbied governments around the world to ease regulations and pass legislation friendly to the company's bottom line, but often harmful to traditional taxi rivals and its own drivers. So this is first obtained by The Guardian, newspaper in the UK, subsequently shared with the internal consortium of investigative journalists, otherwise known as the ICIJ. Andy, tell them what you know about the ICIJ.
Oh boy. Well, they've been around for years. They are very well connected to corporate mainstream media. They select certain people in newsrooms to funnel very secretive, highly leaked information to. There is a lot of suspicion that they are involved with intelligence because a lot of the information that they are fed leaks on, and they had the Pentagon paper, not the Pentagon, the Panama Papers, the Paradise Papers, among others, major leaks and major investigations. And somehow major U.S. businesses seem to have been omitted or disappeared from all of this investigations, other than a couple of patsies and sacrificial lambs they decided to throw out there. But global corruption, global money laundering on a scale massively. And again, this fits along with that. But my first inclination when I saw that ICIJ did a report on Uber was, ooh, somebody at Uber pissed off somebody at the CIA like real bad.
So the trove of documents offers a damning picture of the U.S.-based tech company that revolutionized ride-hailing with a smartphone app that allowed independent drivers to become instant taxi cab drivers. So, you know, they're trying to make Uber feel better, I guess. So, according to the ICIJ, which again, take what Andy said, as it drew from scrappy Silicon Valley startup to a world-conquering multi-billion-dollar operation, Uber promoted itself as a leader of the digital revolution, but the tech company pushed its agenda the old-fashioned way. Uber's scandals and missteps in the United States, from its spying on government officials to its leaks of executive misconduct, have been the subject of books, TV series, and newspaper investigations. Now, a new leak of records reveal the inside story of how the ride-hailing giant's executives muscled into new markets, then managed the fallout, spending gobs of cash on a global influence machine deployed to win favors from politicians, regulators, and other leaders who are often eager to lend a hand. So, yeah, essentially...
So basically, capitalism.
Yeah.
Global capitalism. Yes.
Right. Yeah, they go have lunch with,
like I said,
brunch.
This is business as usual, and somebody at the CIA got really pissed off and decided to blow the lid off this. And there you've got Travis, right?
Yeah.
And somebody said that it was because Travis was a Trump guy that this somehow made it through during the Biden years because there were people that wanted to go after Trump supporters. But I don't think this really has much to do with that. I think it's much bigger than that. But go ahead.
Yeah. So the newspaper says the Guardian reports how the extensive leak of data lays bare the ethically questionable practices that fueled the company's transformation into one of Silicon Valley's most famous exports. The newspaper says the files cover the 5-year period when Uber was run by its co-founder, Travis Kalanick, who tried to force the cab-hailing service into cities around the world, even if that meant breaching laws and taxi regulations. So they put in this video, which I think is from the ICIJ, which we'll watch. I like how they have that Prius there, in the background. That's fun. So anyway, we'll let them talk.
Uber is facing yet another legal battle.
But the federal investigation is the latest headache for Uber.
It's fighting government regulators and others looking to disrupt Uber's business.
As taxi drivers and legislators around the globe opposed Uber's expansion, executives at the ride-hailing giant prepared for battle. Founder Travis Kalanick said violence against Uber drivers would help his company succeed. One Uber manager told the team in India to embrace the chaos. A new leak of internal records exposes these and other tactics employed by Uber between 2013 and 2017 as it fought to enter cities around the globe. The Uber files were leaked to The Guardian and shared with the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. Text messages and memos reveal how top executives held secretive meetings with powerful politicians. Uber and its advisors identified hundreds of influencers in nearly 30 countries seeking to change laws in its favor, including Russian oligarchs close to the Kremlin. ICIJ's investigation reveals how Uber executives knew they were at times operating outside the law. Yet, the ride-hailing giant continued to defy local regulations and upend workers' rights. Uber said that it's committed to transforming every aspect of how it operates, and that its past behavior is not in line with its present values.
So, yeah, what do you think? I mean, it's pretty much...
Uber's clearly full of shit.
Yeah.
So,
I mean...
But yeah, like, I always kind of like, even with the restaurant apps, I was like, they're basically just pushing all the cost of business onto the drivers.
Individual,
and
yeah.
the drivers don't get jack shit, basically.
Right. You're going to have to pay gas. You're going to have to pay, like, upkeep costs on your vehicle.
Maintenance.
Right. Yep. So, I mean...
Business as usual.
Yep. Business as usual. So... No, I don't want to play the video again. Why does Google do that every time? God, Google Slides, be better. So, episodes detailed in the reporting include ruthless behavior of Kalanick, who appeared less concerned with the well-being of Uber drivers than securing the company's ability to operate in new cities or countries. Kalanick dismissed concerns from other executives that sending Uber drivers to a protest in France put them at risk of violence from angry opponents in the taxi industry. I think it's worth it, he shot back. Violence guarantees success.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How? Exactly?
So,
Empathetic? Well, okay.
Yes. Because it like Pied Pipers them. It's like, yeah, oh, they're the violent, ridiculous ones, the taxi drivers. Like, you know, like if that happens, then that's good for us. We'll be martyrs, is what it sounds like.
Oh, they'll be their drivers will be victimized. Is what he wants. He wants the sympathy to be projected towards Uber and the drivers,
right?
And these crazy protesters that are even hurting their own citizens that are only trying to drive cars. But yeah, you're sending cars into protests to pick protesters up. What the hell do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Unreal.
So
Schlatsky, welcome over on Rumble. Appreciate it.
I think it was that he was sending them to taxi industry protests as well. Like that was happening. So it was like, no, you're sending them there, you know. But Gig Workers Rising, a collective of workers operating in the gig economy, said the leak shows how ruthless Uber was with Kalanick at the helm, but that the company continues to mistreat its drivers. Uber trying to spin this as a story that they've changed now because Travis is gone, but that's a complete fabrication. They still don't treat workers with dignity and respect and continue to break many laws with impunity. So Uber files 6-month investigation with The Guardian. Former EU director chief secretly helped Uber lobby Dutch PM, leak suggests. So, but yeah, responding to the first batch of reporting on the files with much more expected in the coming days, Sandeep Vaheshan, legal director of the Open Markets Institute, a think tank focused on corporate power and monopolies, which that doesn't sound good, called it a damning report on Uber's predatory methods of competition and growth with antitrust enforcers here and abroad, which, come on, it's fucking 2022. It's a lady. All right? unfortunately aided
But wait a
and
minute.
abetted
But wait a
it
minute.
because
A
innovation.
think tank focused on what? Increasing corporate power and monopolies? See,
No,
it doesn't
just
exactly
on-
say what
just
the
on
Open
corporate
Markets
power, right.
Institute does.
It does.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
again, you know, every one of these, this is totally stinks of intelligence funding, okay, and government stuff where they fund they draconian name things the exact opposite of what they actually are. So this is the Open Markets Institute, a think tank focused on corporate power and monopolies. Must be funded by somebody wealthy. And what are they focused on?
Yeah.
Gaslighting everybody into knowing exactly that corporate power is centralized into the hands of, you know, the few. Get out of here. Like, seriously, it's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. There's so
So-
much here. Oh,
Yeah,
I
I mean-
like, I get so angry. Watch now. You have extra stories now.
I don't.
I sent you that
I just have
document.
the
I'm going
thing.
to send this. I'm going to send this to you on Rumble. But the actual ICIJ files themselves, I wanted to direct you and everyone to the website because it is extensive. I mean, the research is real. Okay, the exposure on what happened is real. The reason behind why they do it is what they never really get into, and why I question this entire damn thing.
Yes.
Is the timing of this, the method in which it gets distributed and leaked, and the way that corporate media picks up and runs with this narrative, okay, tells me that the entire thing is a planted story that was made and artificial to generate something. What, I'm not sure exactly. And we find that out in the end. We don't have all the answers to the picture, but it's to
I kinda
keep
get the same
questioning and
feeling
keep
as you,
looking at
Andy, on
everything,
that one.
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting the
So
same
what I'm
kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You know, so this, again, they're putting this together on a map. They're assembling a picture for you that says, okay, here's the way it worked at Uber. Now, the truth is it probably works this way at Visa and at MasterCard. And likely when our former Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, was the CEO of ExxonMobil, I guarantee you that was happening that way around the world with ExxonMobil when they wanted to drill in new places that they didn't necessarily want to work with American companies or with one of the major oil producers. All of a sudden there would be destabilization actions happening in their country, and they would be forced to kind of play ball. This is how big business and government
nice to see
and Intel kind of work together.
the World Economic Forum, like, part of this too. That's always fun. You know, they like making appearances. It's almost like an inside joke now. They just have to show up, you know, whenever bad stuff is happening. It's like a running gag, you know? So, but anyway, that's all our stories for tonight, boys.
Oh, dude, that's perfect timing because you know what? Jackson Hinkle just went live over on Rumble. As everybody knows, he got 2 content strikes, and he basically has pulled all his content off of YouTube. He's now streaming exclusively on Rumble and I believe Rockfin.
Nice.
So he's literally just going live. On Twitch they do raids. They banned him off of Twitch. They banned him off of YouTube. He's too hot for mainstream everything. Too hot for big corporate everything. So by all, look, we want to support this dude. We don't want to see people get banned and censored, and we're anti-censorship. So shout out to the Hinks and go check him out over there. I know he's got a pretty big following already over on Rumble. So